2 Eternal Weekends are fast approaching, and I need to get my reps in with Lurrus PO. All right, welcome back, Vintage Gamers, to a Wednesday night recording. I want to finish this league that I started the other night, where I only got through one match, and that one match took an entire hour. If you haven't watched that video, check it out. I'll put the link somewhere on the screen. And we're just going to play the remaining 4 matches of this Lurrus PO league. For a quick refresher, it is almost the same list that I took to Eternal Weekend, but I've made some slight changes. We're playing a third Tundra instead of a fetch, I believe, in the main. And this is going to allow us to remove that plains from the board. It's already come back to bite me in the first match. If you haven't seen that already, go check it out. And what that's going to do is free up a sideboard slot where I was very interested in attacking the influx of sphered shops decks with Hercules Recall and a bit of a combo resurgence as well as being able to try to help the Gifts Breach matchup with a Mindbreak Trap. So there's a Tormod's Crypt gone here, and the Plains is gone to get a Trap and a Hercules into the deck. And then, like I said, in the main, we are playing another Tundra. So just small changes, small tweaks. We might make some bigger tweaks as we learn more about the metagame. And we maybe we'll make bigger deck changes if we feel like Lurrus PO isn't the correct deck for Eternal Weekend in Europe and Japan. But for now, we're going to get on Magic Online, and we're going to get testing. Did you know subscribing here on YouTube and following on Twitch are both free ways you can support my vintage content? All right, here we go. Maybe a Lurrus combo mirror to start. Don't know exactly what kind of lists this player is on. They usually try out various different things. My hand looks pretty good, though, so let's keep it. Obviously, on the play, this hand would be fantastic. Yeah, but they try out a bunch of different varieties of Lurrus PO and Breach and combo. Sometimes they have Painters, sometimes they don't. Turn 1, stock up. Off of Sapphire Saga is pretty good. And a Pearl. Well, and a Vexing Wobble. Well, yeah, okay. Well, that is one of the things you can do with power. I think that just means we lose. I don't really see how we're coming back from this, even if we resolved an Ancestral Recall. This is part of the reason why Vexing Bauble is no longer a 4 of in Vintage. And I've obviously come around a lot on that restriction. I still think it was probably too early, but it certainly is a broken Magic card, isn't it, in the context of what people are doing in Vintage? This is a classic keep Ancestral Hand, lose because we didn't keep Counter Magic. There's not a lot to be gained here. And there's not actually a lot of ways to even come back. Like, we can chain a Vexing Bauble theoretically, but my opponent doesn't really have to make any plays. They can just make Construct, and we'll die. I mean, I guess theoretically we can draw Dress Down, and so there are ways for us to beat the constructs, but this now lets my opponent hard cast a Force on my Ancestral, but I'm not even sure this Ancestral matters that much. Like, if I draw a bunch of Moxen, it doesn't actually help me. If I draw a bunch of Forces, it doesn't actually help me. Shove Flusterstorm, so they get to counter my... They have just hard cast misstep. Okay. There's my Force that we would have drawn off of that. Yeah, this is one of those matches, or one of those games you should just take the beating and go on to game 2. But I want to see what happens if I play out for a little while at least. Unfortunately, I think it was required that I hit a Dress Down to prolong the game. But you can't be too mad or enthralled about this kind of game. These games happen in Vintage. They don't happen a lot. Definitely a minority of the time, but sometimes you just get vintaged. It'd be similar to opponent playing, you know, turn 1 Jewel or turn 1 Tinker Citadel or turn 1 Doomsday. It's a similar idea, but it's just on the prison side of things. If your opponent played turn 1 Trinisphere, similar setup. So I have to chump here. Not that Flame of Anora would actually save me anyways. But I just need to buy myself enough time that I can train her into a dress down, which is still a viable option here if my opponent does not have counter magic. Now, my opponent can buy and play Lurrus if they want. And then at some point, they can start undoing their bauble and redoing their bauble. They're just going to hold everything up, which makes me think they probably just have a force, which is pretty bad for me. I guess I want to dig deeper here, so I guess we'll go Meticulous Archive first, and then Trainer. And this has to be dressed down. It's not dressed down. I can block and go to 12. Get a mana. I can make a construct, so I can maybe live another turn. But I am running out of time. This is a Flame of Anor. Is dress down still good? Why would it be bad? All right, I'm going to bring in Pyro, Trap, and maybe Negation, though I'm not 100% sure on Negation. And then I'm taking out Island, Soul Guide, Swords, Chain. What doesn't it hit? Stops Trainer, loops with Lure. Like, it's easier to say things that Dress Down isn't good against. Dress Down's a hell of a magic card. My turn to start with a Vexing Bauble and 2 Moxen, but Tundra here instead of Fetch Land could be because of my mana base. I don't get to play Pyroblast. Quite a problem. We don't know for sure if this Tundra is the new Tundra or not, but if it's the new Tundra, then it was previously a Fetch Land. I'd have Pyroblast up here. So, definitely unfortunate. I don't know. I'm actually, so far, I haven't been super thrilled with the Plains Tundra change. I'm probably just cracking this Vexing Bauble at some point here. But not yet. Not before I resolve a Lurrus, maybe. Relaxing PO content on a Wednesday night. Not a typical Wednesday night affair. But I have big tournaments coming up and not a lot of time to prepare for them. Otter. I think I'm just going to blast this. Just a tempo play. I would hope they don't have any removal in their deck, but we'll see. I, of course, did not have to blast the trainer, but I don't really mind it. I think it's a play you very seldom make, but there are windows where it makes sense. This feels like a spot where stopping your opponent from finding the things they're trying to, try to get through this game, turning off the ability to do like Flame of Anor, kill Lurrus, kill Bobble, are things that make sense to me. If my opponent casts Stock Up here, I'm going to crack Bobble and I'm going to negate the Stock Up. They're not going to cast... Okay, well, I am going to crack my Vexing Bobble end of turn, and then I'll replay it on my turn. Flusterstorm's quite nice. All right, I will play this Vexing Bobble out of my yard. They played an untapped Springs. They could have Snapcaster Mage as an Ambush Viper. Don't think I'm allowed to play around that one. I have Hardcast Negation and Flusterstorm up. They just played tapped Springs for fun. Okay. They might have been playing like Hardcast Negation, but it's kind of unclear. Hardcast Flare, maybe. Yeah, but then like why wouldn't they try to counter it? Bobble back. Yeah, I'll just fluster this. Maybe I'm supposed to like hardcast negate that. I could see it. That way I can fluster the force over the top. But like, also, it's not even a negation. Like I can replay this bobble at some point too. But yeah, maybe that was a misuse of my use my resources there. PO. Yeah, I'm gonna just use my end of turn here. Seems fine. If they want to counter this, like, I don't really care very much. I guess I can have Trap now is online, but... I also just don't care about this bobble very much anymore, considering I have multiple forces. Yeah, there are a bunch of little changes on Magic Online. I haven't read the article yet. Maybe I should. There's like a bunch of random play now buttons that might help people play free matches, which is kind of cool. Mindbreak Trap on the bobble. Sure. Sure. I don't know. I think I'm just not supposed to make any moves here. Just play on their end stuff. It's really hard for me to... I guess I let the bobble get things, so now they can play a bunch of Moxen. Maybe I'll lose. If that's possible. Maybe I just should have fought over the bobble and just got it back into play. I could see it. But I just have so many counter spells. Like, am I really losing the counter war here? They have 3 cards left in the hand after they play all their mana. Like, doesn't matter very much. Yes, both of these games were very much about Vexing Bobble. We're gonna go for buy Lurrus so that they can play Lurrus and play Thundertrap Trainer. Seems likely. No, they're gonna buy Lurrus and pass. Interesting. Okay, I will destroy, and these are two different targets, so I will target myself to draw 2 and destroy your Black Lotus. I don't think I will. Chess. I didn't really enjoy them, so donations are cool, but they ended up being more trouble than they were worth. I think if I was doing like full-time stuff, then definitely would do deck donations, but it was not by the end of it, it was not as fun as I would want it to be. Just gonna see what my opponent's hand is here. It's Brain Freeze. Interesting. So if I had gone for like a really hard combo turn, I could have gotten milled out maybe. But I'm just gonna win the game here. All I need is a 4th. But yeah, we just got so much advantage from Lurrus Vexing Bobble that it was basically impossible for my opponent to come back. Cool. I mean, we still had another 3 counter spells, so. So they are Breach. I don't know how deep into Breach they are. We could bring in Lanterns, theoretically. I'm not a huge fan of it, but they're not bad. I'll probably take out my Mishra's Bauble and put a Lantern in instead. Seems like a nice little easy swap we can make here. So I think I'm just gonna do one, just one, because it's not like it's the gifts deck that is like heavily reliant on the graveyard. Because they have Flare of Denial, which means they have Thundertrap Trainer, they have Thundertrap Trainers, they probably have POs, so it's probably just a side win condition. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Searchable off of Saga. I bring in all of my Soul Guides versus Gifts Breach. They are very large roadblocks, and they're basically free because you're just cantripping them, and they cycle and they give you Mox Opal mana and that kind of thing. So if my opponent hadn't played a Flooded Strand first, I might consider forcing this Mana Crypt. But if I force the Mana Crypt and they have Flusterstorm or Pyroblast, it's so bad for me. So, but Leyline is bad. Agreed. Leyline, I mean, like, certainly there are times where you could bring in a Leyline, like, depending on your deck, but I wouldn't want to bring one in if I didn't have to. Like, I have brought Leylines in against the Gifts Breach deck as certain kinds of decks, but not every kind of deck is going to want that. Well, it's, how to explain? I mean, you can't play it at any time, and you can cycle the Lantern, you can find the Lantern off Saga, you can replay it with Lurrus, like, it's a much different card. Right, so opponent has a great mana start here with Mana Crypt Soul Ring, very jealous. And they also have a Thundertrap Trainer, and they also have a Time Walk, so they are pretty far ahead. But they might be light on resources, depending on how this Thundertrap Trainer goes. We'll have to see. We can accelerate our mana with Time Walk, maybe Snap Time Walk. They found Flare of Denial off of the Thundertrap Trainer. Nice little combination gaming. Yeah, let's start with Time Walk, and then I assume our stock up will get flared, but we'll see. If my opponent wants to flare my time walk, I'm okay. That's fine. My opponent did not play a land off their time walk turn, so they have 2 non-land cards in their hand, probably 2 non-mana cards in their hand. So they probably have 2 pieces of action at least. They're gonna buy Lurrus here. It's fine. They have another white land. They could play it, but they don't have another white land. Yeah, these cards are great. I'm just gonna cast a stock up. They have a Flusterstorm. It's quite strong here. Maybe I should have baited with Snap Walk, but I could always maybe even snap stock up. So yeah, I don't think it's bad. I think the problem with Flare, in my opinion, in these decks is that they typically don't have enough creatures. So you're casting it as cancel most of the time. But it's obviously quite nice with Thundertrap Trainer where you can just do it right away. I really liked the Flare in the big blue-green creature deck that I did. Oh, wow, this is interesting. My opponent fetched Volcanic and passed when they have Lurrus in their hand and 2 unknowns. It's very odd. They have an Ancestral. They have a PO. Dig through time. No, they very much did it on purpose. So they have Lurrus and an unknown, and they lost their thing they were going to buy back with Lurrus. I mean, this is a force. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to force here. I think I'm just going to force pitching. It's kind of unfortunate because I don't know if my top card is a mana source or not. So I can like snap. Yeah, I'm just going to pitch this PO. I think the Snapcaster is a little bit better. And I still get a Meticulous Archive here, so hopefully I hit like a Mox so I can snap. I mean, this is fine too. But now I'm just untapping with Snap Stock Up. And my opponent has Lurrus and an unknown in hand and no... Okay. Don't know what that was. Alright. Stocking up. 4th Era Linga's Stock Up Saga. Interesting. I want more than anything right now is Force Blue card. I'm taking stock up. I just am trying to figure out what I want what else I want to take. Cause like I can play stock up and I can play saga. I can kind of play stock up and play 4th Erlingas. I could just take probe and see what my opponent's last card is besides it. I just like don't know if stock up is going to be like super relevant. I mean, saga is going to be super relevant. I mean, the saga will let me eventually search up a lantern, which will give me some extra redundancy, but I really want like force blue card for a PO or something. I don't think I want 4th Erlingas. Maybe I should have if they're gonna lose mana crypt flips. It would be almost lethal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be 2 damage short of lethal. They couldn't replay their Lurrus. I drew a land. I think I'm going to not play my saga in case I hit like Academy negation. I guess that wouldn't help. So I guess I will play my saga. Hopefully I don't get Pyroblast here. Pyroblast is nice. Pyroblast misstep. Could go Pyroblast Ruby and buy Lurrus. Probably not necessary. I guess I'm worried that Pyroblast misstep doesn't beat Breach combo. So maybe I just take Pyroblast stock up and then I don't think I cast stock up, but I'm really worried about getting breach comboed from this spot. I'm gonna take Pyroblast stock up. I'll be able to do everything next turn and still like make construct too, so. They've lost like every flip. Would have won if I just like hard cast the fourth, but I feel like that's the incorrect play. We may make a construct, especially if my opponent plays a Lurrus. But if they don't play a Lurrus, then. So they have PO. Oh, kick a trainer. All right, well, that's good enough for me. Last card. No! Oh my god, what a mess. If I had taken mental misstep to cover my mental misstep. All right, well, they kick a trainer here. Their last card is Lurrus plus their 2 trainer cards. We still have a stock up, so that's so unfortunate. If it was like Flusterstorm or Misstep there, those were the worst possible outcomes. But they couldn't even protect it with Pyroblast. There's a stock up of their own. And a Pyroblast, but no mana for it. All right, that could have been a lot worse. Another fetch land. See what this gets us. Wow. These cards have not been very helpful. I can't really sink anything. I can make a construct and take Tolarian and then cast another stock up, but I can't even get force and protect myself. Like I kind of need stock up to hit me fluster and for it to be good. That's like not even good. What the hell? We're gonna just randomly lose this game? I could take Tolarian Academy, and then I could cast stock up. And if I hit Mox PO, I can PO. Maybe that's just the plan. I could take Trainer Academy, and I could... No, I won't do it. I mean, the problem is he has a stock up and a Pyroblast. And we don't know about the Mana Crypt happening. And I don't feel like attacking with creatures is going to be fast enough. Like, I can attack with my Snapcaster Mage, and they will block. And I can make a construct, and they'll have to block. But they won't have to block on the next turn. They could always Pyroblast it. I think I want to... Oh, I guess I would need a Mana Crypt to PO. And I can't Time Walk because the Time Walk's in my yard. Oh my god. It's such a mess. I have 1 Pyro, 2 Flusterstorms. Flusterstorm is like not even guaranteed to be good. Wow. I could hit Lotus PO. Could hit Mana Crypt, Mana Vault PO. No, I'm just trying to weigh if like the things I need off stock up are so narrow, unfortunately. Like it can't be anything other than one of 3 POs and one of like 2 or 3 fast mana things that are actually good. I guess it could be Force Blue card, but it's not like great. if I want to try to win off of it. If I don't want to try to win off of it, I could make a construct, play Academy, and cast stock up, and hope I don't die. Make an attack, play Academy, cast stock up. But like I could just not make a construct, cast stock up, taking Academy, and I do have outs. Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Lotus, and PO. But like the percentage chance there is really low. I just like don't know what the percentage chance of me passing and winning is, so I think I'm going to cast stock up and try to win. I hit Mana Vault, but I didn't hit PO. Oh, Mana Vault, yeah, Mana Vault would still. So I hit Mana Vault, but I didn't hit PO. I did hit. I could take Academy and Mana Vault and play Ancestral to start. And if I hit Mox PO, I win. I can still win again. I could take Lantern and Ancestral, and then I am not dying right away to some things, but I'm still dying to like PO right away. Just like super dead to a PO, but not after a stock up, maybe. Depends. I have to use my Tolarian Academy to play my Mana Vault because I have no floating mana. So yes, it does require a Mox. I have 3 Mox in it. I think this is like a not bad. I just don't know like how much the Lantern is protecting me. Like if the Lantern's protecting me a significant amount, then I think it's actually kind of good. Oh, I just draw 2. No, I wouldn't need a blue Mox chest, for fuck's sake. I would just need any Mox to play my Mana Vault and use my floating blue mana. We missed, though, so. Okay, I tried to win the game, and I didn't come up with a win, so now we need to see if we die. I drew too many lands in this game. We'll have to see if a Lantern would have helped me here. I mean, we can never know because we never know what's on the stock up. They just, oh, there's a Ruby. I forgot about the Ruby. The Ruby's actually nuts here. Well, yeah, I mean, we could have taken Force Blue card, but there's a Pyroblast and I just can't do anything, so. Maybe I'm like misevaluating and this stock up is not representing me losing the game. I just feel it's like the stock up is representing me losing the game. Like I could have taken more conservative lines, right? Like there were definitely more conservative lines I could have taken. Making a construct, not taking Academy. I just felt like I needed to win the game or I was going to lose the game, and maybe that was incorrect. They lost another Mana Crypt flip, by the way. They've lost basically every single Mana Crypt flip this game, so. Well, they're debating this, so that's a good sign. We're still like untapping with nothing though, because our PO can just get pyroed. We didn't see a Fluster, I don't believe, but we wouldn't have had the blue mana for Fluster anyways. I guess if I had taken the Academy and hit Ancestral Fluster, that would have been a thing where I could have done, like, I could have passed the turn, they cast a spell, I cast Ancestral, they Pyroblasted, and I Fluster the stack. It might not even be enough Storm. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually not enough Storm, right? So That's not even that good. I could wait till later in the turn, which I probably would have to do after the stock up. Weird game. The only reason this game is like super close is because of the mana crypt. They lost every mana crypt flip. But I also just like, I don't know, like, should I have taken, I on the stock up, I took Pyro stock up or something like that, and I could have taken Pyro misstep, and it would have covered their misstep on my Pyro. I just don't think that was right. Like, was it real? Like, I don't think I was supposed to be playing around misstep there. Because, like, misstep's not even covering Flusterstorm or like Spell Pierce or anything, or sorry, Spell Pierce or anything, because their like main source right there is going to be Pyroblast, and you can't Pyroblast my Pyroblast. I felt like having another stock up would be getting us further to our goal, but this is kind of a thing though when you have like you draw a lot more lands than your opponent. Sometimes it's great because you have like a mana advantage and you're good, but sometimes it's really rough. Are they gonna play Lurrus? That's really great for us. Just playing Lurrus is by far the best thing the weakest thing they could do. All right, so they have 2 cards and a Pyroblast. And we have a trainer, kick a trainer and a PO. So as long as their last 2 cards aren't you're attacking. Interesting. We'll have to see if we want to make a construct. It's only -1 mana, right? So wait. We can get a Vexing Bauble, and so we can kick a trainer. Okay, so I make a construct. Oh, I guess I get a Vexing Bauble. I lose out on my Opal. I could get a Lantern, hit the trainer. Yeah. Let's just do. If they have forced blue card after, we're winning, I think. So. So this gets rid of their Thunder Trap trainer from their yard. So in this scenario, I guess they could have Mind Break Trap. So maybe we don't want to play this Opal out. This crazy game. I can kick a trainer without using. There's no reason not to use my PO or my thing. This is my first spell. Yeah. Let's just kick a trainer. They'll Pyroblast it, and I'll respond by POing. And it's not even Mind Break Trappable. And if it resolves, then great. It resolves. So that's fine too. Do I even need white mana at all? No, right? I could just use both my white mana for the PO. Yeah, Pyroblast. PO in response. Maybe I'm supposed to. I wonder if I was supposed to bait with the PO. Okay, that's countered. Can I make enough mana to negation here? Probably not, right? No. Because I tapped the white mana? No, that can't be right. White, red. No, I have enough. Wait, it's not enough, though. Because if I fourth For 2, they would live. All right, I'll just make them have it then. What if I play a Soul Guide Lantern? Then I have 2, 3, 4. I am attacking with 4 is 8. Blocking 1, they take 6 and go up to 4. So I think I can play a Soul Guide Lantern and play a 4th. I don't think they have anything, but... I am trying to play around Mindbreak Trap to the best of my ability, where if my opponent has a Mindbreak Trap, I don't lose the game. So I'm seeing if I can play a Lantern and play a 4th. I can't hold up negation and attack for lethal. This was cool. These are great games. Lurrus matchups are just fucking amazing. They're so good. Chess, the thing you think about, there are 2 things you need to think about. 1, how do I win? And 2, how do I lose? And so, okay, we understand that if I 4th for the full amount, I win. How do I lose if I 4th for the full amount? The way I lose if I 4th for the full amount is my opponent has 2 unknown cards in their hand. They have a Mindbreak Trap, and then they untap and they cast Underworld Breach and kill me. I will lose the game. So how can I mitigate that? Well, I can't really beat a Mindbreak Trap. Why can't I beat a Mindbreak Trap? I can't beat a Mindbreak Trap because I can't hold open negation and cast a lethal 4th Erlingus. I did not have enough mana to do that. I could not cast enough to get through the Lurrus with the life gain and still do that. Okay, so if I can't beat a Mindbreak Trap straight up, how do I best mitigate a Mindbreak Trap? Okay, well, if I think that one of the ways I lose is Underworld Breach and one of the ways I lose is PO, then I can play a Lantern, which is going to insulate me against Underworld Breach, and I'll have negation backup for PO and for Underworld Breach. So in this way, I still have enough mana to play a lethal 4th Erlingus. However, I use my extra mana to make sure I can't lose the game if they do have exactly Mindbreak Trap. Now, like, that doesn't exactly stop me. If my opponent has PO plus Flusterstorm, maybe I still lose, but I can't cover everything. I can only cover what I can cover. All right, here we go. Round 3 now. Second round tonight. Ancestral Hand. See if it punishes me like the last Ancestral Hand we kept. Lurrus Gaming. All right, beautiful. If I could play a Lurrus League and it's 5 Lurrus Mirrors, I will be a very happy guy. Especially if they're different kinds of Lurrus decks. We played against Lurrus Deathray Shaman in the first video, and then this video we played against PO. If we can play against a Frog, that's 3 different blue decks. Be very good practice. All right. Let's play a land and cast Gataxian Probe targeting our opponent. See what they're working with. Merchant, Saga, Island. Okay, it's the Gifts Ungiven, so another new blue deck. Merchant, Saga, Island, Gifts, Dress Down, Demonic. Okay. So I'm at 6 cards. I could overdraw if I cast Ancestral now. But I could hit Moxen. Even off-color Moxen. I guess I can't really buy Lurrus from that spot. I could play Trainer, which will give me 4 looks for a Force. I think I want to play Trainer. Their hand is very slow. I mean, the whole deck, the Gifts deck, is pretty slow if you don't have a Shawn opener. Emerald, Bauble, Stock Up. I think I just like taking Emerald. We're not threatening to die soon, so we're going to untap with a lot of mana. And we get extra mana for our Academy. We can get a PO going here. Kind of want to like PO after I do all the snapping, but we'll see. Now, the biggest problem here is if my opponent keeps the card on top, and then they like, it's a Mox, then they merchant for Ancestral, they resolve Ancestral, or they just straight up scroll for a Force, I guess could be kind of annoying. Let's see what they do. They kept a card on top, and then they scrolled. And they scrolled for Ancestral, which makes me think maybe they kept a Force on top. Another land. So let's start with an Ancestral. If my opponent has a negation, that's the worst possible thing that could happen to me. I guess I should play a land. I should play Flaring Academy, because if they have a negation, I could PO in response. That was really bad. It was super bad. So they had Force of Will, which is what they kept on top. That makes sense. The pitching just down. Makes sense. They kept it on top. That was kind of the read I had. So now I can either PO or... I wish I had 3 blue mana. So I could like a snap back a PO. I think I should just snap Ancestral. All I need to hit is... I guess I would have to hit... I would have to hit Opal and another Moxen. It's kind of asking for a lot. Yeah, I should have played the Academy out so I could have beat negation, not beat negation, but responded to negation. And I can still use my Ancestral against Force because I have Snap. I'm just trying to figure out if... I'm just not sure that getting that to my hand is... I mean, I want to find a misstep or a Force. And they both see the same amount of cards, I guess. And if I hit an Opal, I can replay a Trainer. So I guess PO makes more sense. So in that case, I will attack and then PO for 3. I did not find... Oh, wait, I can always replay the Trainer because I had double blue. Right, because Snapcaster uses double blue. Okay, cool. So then I can Trainer into some kind of counter magic for this Ancestral. I missed. That's unfortunate. I guess I will play PO. Man, how deep did I go? I went 16, 17 cards deep for a Force and found none. Okay. Maybe they won't just snap off it because they're scared. They're not scared. Okay, well, 3 unknowns. They can't be mana drain unless they find a Sapphire or a Lotus. They can't demonic because they don't have a black source at the moment. This is one of their unknowns. They can gifts. I don't think they can gifts or anything crazy at the moment. Oh, right, they also have an unknown from turn. Oh, they have stock up. All right, well, somehow I don't feel like my POs are resolving, but... we might have enough mana where we can PO, snap PO. Let's see. All right. 4 unknowns from my opponent. I feel like we got a little unlucky there not to have counter magic for their Ancestral. But 4th. Not lethal 4th here. Save the red mana and just start by POing. There's Force, pitching gifts. So I don't have enough to snap a PO. I can snap an Ancestral in response. Or I could 4th my opponent for a decent chunk and get a... I need to find a counterspell for their turn or I'm going to die, right? Like super dead. I don't have a Pyro main, so... just try to draw in a Flusterstorm. If I lose this game, I'll be so surprised because I drew so many cards, but... they have mental misstep off the stock up. They took... ugh. Okay. I think I'm gonna cantrip. Well, I can't even cantrip into a force off my dress down. I can only cantrip into a elemental. I'm just dead. I'm just actually just dead on board because my opponent's just gonna get a Black Lotus and DT for yeah. I'm just straight up dead on board. That's crazy. We've been bullied by mental misstep today. Wow. I feel like I just saw nothing in my all right. I didn't think we were going to lose this game. I'll be honest with you. I thought we were extremely favored to win this game. But I'm just deterministically dead here. My opponent just gets a Lotus and goes black mana, Demonic Tutor, wins the game. That's crazy. What did I do wrong in this game? They didn't even DT? They just had another Breach? I mean, they have Merchant Scroll, Brain Freeze. That's crazy. We had Ancestral Mana Crypt Tolarian and we lost? I'm kind of boggled. My mind is a little boggled here. My opponent's hand was not good. Like, their keep was... I think their keep was, like, maybe even a little questionable. If I had gone for a fourth, would it have been better? I don't know. That is a really frustrating loss. I don't really know how to think about that one. I don't like bringing in negation in this matchup that much because they have just so much instant speed spells, but sometimes you can just hard cast. I don't think you need Bobble when we're bringing in all these lanterns. You definitely don't need swords or chain. I don't mind dress down. I'm actually not convinced we want fourth at all. It's not bad, but maybe it's just like one opal so that we don't get clogged on opals. Maybe we take out sync as well. Okay, we'll do that. That was really, really weird game. I would not expect myself to lose that one very often. Like a single force of will along the way just instantly won the game, right? I wouldn't say this hand is particularly great, but yeah, I guess that's true. I have not considered playing Wear Tear, but we definitely could. Turn 1 mana drain. Seems good. Gonna have to draw a land or a Mox, non-opal, so we can make Saga tokens and threaten our opponent. I do not expect to cast any spells this game until my opponent is not representing drain. Oh, the classic Tropical Island, and then they have more mana than us. Unlucky. The classic doesn't cast Lurrus, doesn't cast Lurrus. So I have to consider if I want... I think I'm just going to force this. That way I can still make Construct. And the Construct does matter. Buy Lurrus. That's crazy. Buy Lurrus with 0 black sources in play. Volk, Trop. I hate them. I hate my opponent's decks. It's really actually crazy. It's too funny. Like, playing Volks at all is unfortunate with Lurrus. It always feels bad when they're wastelandable basic islands, but Tropical Island is Step above. I mean, I'm making more constructs. I kind of have to win this game, I think. The question becomes... I think I'm just going to grab an opal. I think I'll just grab a lotus. Nah, I'm going to grab an opal. Grab an opal. And again, I am not casting anything into this train right now. If my opponent untaps and like, what is this? Oh, a braid? That's crazy bad for me. Oh, Ancient Grudge. Yeah, I mean, that's also crazy bad for me, but... Shelby. I haven't seen Shelby in so long. I mean, it wouldn't have been much difference if I had gone on any of my other ones, so... I mean, they answered the Saga trigger. Basically, they answered Saga directly with Grudge and left a token behind. So, like, it wasn't that good. I'm glad they didn't go for anything here because I don't have a force anymore. I also just have nothing. I have actual stone cold nothing. They also have no way to play their Lurrus. I'm in a pretty bad spot. I didn't really draw very well. I drew a bunch of uncastables because I'm so far behind on Moxen. But I guess I would have gotten Grudged anyways. I mean, we are freaking dead in this game. This game, I am not surprised we're losing, considering our opponent had an extreme Mox advantage over us. But I will say we could be losing a lot harder if my opponent had real lands. Oh, that casts Lurrus. See, you don't need white and black mana. You just need a Lotus. No problem. Incredible. Our stock up was not protected at all, so it wouldn't have helped us very much. That's the perfect card, so... I mean, we are just so far behind, we kind of have to just jam into it. I'm gonna see if this is like more of a bait spell than anything, but... Oh, I'm pretty sure we're just lost. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not supposed to play around the single Ancient Grudge. Like, who cares? Hardcast Force. Yeah, I mean, this is not getting much better, so... I assume there's like another Hardcast Force or something. Oh, I got Mental Misstep on my Pyroblast again. All right, well, if my opponent has like all counter magic and bricks in hand, that's about the only way we're getting ahead of this. Like I said, I'm not surprised we're losing this game. The first game was definitely much more of a surprise. I mean, if they have all interaction, like we can still just jam haymakers until they die. No mental misstep on my this thing. I think I'm just gonna stock up off of my 2 lands. It's fine. Yeah. All right. Well, if I can dodge another turn here, then I can start playing at instant speed. I mean, maybe I could have played at instant speed anyways, but all they need is 1 payoff. Yeah. All right. Well, playing at instant speed would have helped to play around this, so... But we're dead. We're just deterministically dead here as long as they make any kind of anything. Yeah, we're just deterministically dead here. I did give them an extra card in their yard, so I guess I made a mistake. I should have just played the Vanaval and went for an end of turn PO into a stock up. I mean, it probably doesn't matter, but that was definitely like an incorrect sequencing. But yeah, like I said, I don't think winning this game was ever really happening with the cards we had versus the cards they had. They were kind of lucky to draw the Lotus, though, because they could never cast this card ever. And they basically gave them a piece of thing to use their combo on, so like, they got a little bit bailed out from the bad deck building. All right, we're on to round 4 now. I cut a Tormod's Crypt in this build, so we are only on 1 Lantern main, 2 Lantern board. So this is good testing for Dredge. And there's our Lantern main, though we're probably just going to get griefed. Opponent is on a mold of 6, on a mold of 5. All right, they kept 5. See if they have interaction. They went to 3, Icarid Bridge, Hollow One, no Dredger. They're on bridges now. That's different. I can technically wait on my Lantern and just go Mox stock up here. Because they would need to activate their Bazaar and find a black creature that they don't want to reanimate. Or they don't want to dredge. I think I'm supposed to stock up here. I could even like Moxin off of the stock up if I wanted to. Force blue card. Okay. So they have an Icarid and a bridge and no dredger. So they're going to activate and draw 2, discard 3. They missed on a dredger. They missed on a creature. They have a therapy. They can attack with Hollow One and therapy me on P. They'll name PO. Almost assuredly they'll name PO if they choose to do that because they get a 2/2. They chose not to. I think I would have. I think if I was the opponent, I would. Trainer grabbing force is really bad. That's a terrible trainer. And then I'm going to Lantern the... I think I'm going to Lantern the bridge. In that. They hit a grief, so they could bring back the Icarid this turn and then Cabal therapy my force away after attacks. I'm just trying to figure out if, like... I think this just buys me enough time to get Lurrus going, right? So I think we should just do it. I probably won't block for 1 turn in case I draw Flame. But, like, if I get Lurrus going, I should win this game, so... I don't think that's what I want to do. I think I just want to buy Lurrus. All right, they missed on a dredger, so they lose. This is the main deck Lantern just randomly winning a game 1. I think that's definitely the biggest improvement that I made on this deck recently. Is yeah, if you just have a main deck Lantern and you don't get it negated or something, like you just can win random game 1s. Obviously, my opponent had like a bad start, right? They had no dredger, but like you got to take whatever you can get when you're Dredge. You get to keep your hand, and your hand is your hand. So we got a game 1 win against Dredge, and we're bringing in Lantern, and then we need to choose what else we want to bring in. I've been bringing in some swords. I'm usually not a fan of this island. Or this Bauble, or this Dress Down. I mean, I'm not a fan of most of the cards in this deck in this matchup. I'm gonna keep the Chain in. I've been deciding that I actually kind of think the Chain is just like multi-purpose enough. Like it hits the Chalice randomly, and it hits like the creatures that are attacking, and you can do mana things with it. Kind of decided that I kind of just don't mind the Chain. I definitely think the Bauble is like pretty mid, and the Island is not great, and the Dress Down is not great. So the Dress Down came up recently as well. So I don't know. I'm kind of still on the fence on like what exactly I want to do in this matchup, because like this Mental Misstep is pretty bad as well. So maybe I just keep the Dress Down. It has a little bit more utility. Like just Noxious is kind of low. It's really hard to tell what you're supposed to do here, because you just don't. I just don't have many good cards. And I have a lot of medium into bad cards. So let's try again. I have a cat. I have an Ancestral Hand. Probably just a keep. Oh, no, I wouldn't cut fourth Airlingas. You need to win fast sometimes, but Misstep does hit the therapies. I forgot about the therapies. You are definitely correct. We could have kept Misstep in for therapy. I didn't think about therapy. We'll put the Misstep back in for something else. Like there's like 8 different cards we can take out. I basically almost never cut the fourth. It just gives you a lot more room to work. A lot of times you need to win in one attack, especially in the Dredge matchup. My opponent can either take the Ancestral, or they can take the Lorien Reveal to take me off of a blue source. They did have a Golgari Draped Roll this time, though. They took the Lorien Reveal to take me off of a blue source. Interesting. Oh, they hit. I should probably order this the other way. It's okay. Maybe they have Misstep. I mean, this tells them what I have, but... looks like we're dead here. I'm like pretty willing to take like double Mox Ancestral Hands. Obviously, my opponent kept 7, so I had like much less of a chance of winning. But like, I'm not gonna mulligan to 3 Soul Guide Lanterns. That's not really what we're trying to do here. So there are Creeping Chills and Bridges and Therapies in this deck. It's kind of wild. Are there Forces in this deck? There was a Force in Game 1. We haven't seen a Force in Game 2 yet. Need to draw Blue Source, obviously. Drew a Power instead. Drew a Solarian Academy, we probably win the game. So this is 6, 10, 12. I died to a Creeping Chill. It's only 2 chills left. There's a Therapy, and they know about my Ancestral. They hit a Chill. There's still Forces. Doesn't look like there's Vigors, is what that doesn't look like there is. I will bring this Misstep in, though, for that. You're right. I'll probably just take this Chain out. I don't know. There's so many medium cards I can take out. It's kind of hard to say. All right. Opponent kept 7. They don't look like they have Vigor, which is interesting. This hand just doesn't play Magic again. Small again. This hand also doesn't play Magic. They Serum Powdered twice on 7 and then kept on 7. So this looks pretty doomed. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what am I going to do, man? Just got misstepped again. All right. I think I'm lost, but just didn't have remotely keepable hands, and my opponent kept 7 again. Double hollow 1 7-card keep with a mental misstep, huh? Okay. Not sure anything would have mattered in this case. Having an extra Tormod's Crypt in my deck. And Force blue card. Incredible. So they do have negations as well. Cool. Force blue card, double, hollow one, mental misstep, double dredger. Just an average black deck draw. Yeah, I don't know. Don't think there was like anything interesting about these games besides the game one win with the Soul Guide Lantern. So the main deck Soul Guide Lantern doing what it's doing, and then we just kind of got outdrawn in the other two games. It wasn't very close. All right, here we go. Fifth and final match of our Lurrus League here. Double Opal versus Take Your Time. That's not a great one. I don't know that Take Your Time is on standstill anymore, but he was playing Doomsday, if I recall, at one point. His hand's actually quite reasonable against Doomsday, if it's exactly Doomsday. But it's pretty bad. Man, double Opal is I mean, this is like a good Mola 5 is the problem. Probably have to put it back without knowing what my opponent's on. I think very few versions play Therapy, and I don't think you should be keeping Mental Misstep in to beat Noxious Revival if you're not playing Wasteland. I always keep in Mental Misstep against Noxious Revival if I'm playing Wasteland, but if I'm not playing Wasteland, then I think you take out sometimes. I would say the majority of decks don't have Cabal Therapy, but yes, like after you see Cabal Therapy, then I would keep in Mental Misstep over some of the other cards for sure. My opponent is not on a Lurrus. They are on an island. I would expect nothing less. Sensei's top. That kind of hints towards standstill. Force is not a bad draw. I'm going to get my own basic island here to play around Wasteland. I'm going to get a trainer in play. Volt, Luster, Walk. I kind of hate this, but I think I'm going to take the Mana Vault. Shockwave.deck sounds like something Take Your Time would play, yeah. Tundra. Certainly wanted an island there, but getting Spell Pierced or Misstepped or something. Like, I'm pretty sure I have to jam stock up here regardless. I need to start pushing forward a little bit. All right. Bulk Lotus, Merchant Scroll. Seems good. I mean, is this even for a PO? Could be for a Flame. Ancestral. Well, I think you need them if your opponent wastelands you. But if you play against Combo, then Cabal Therapy is certainly better. Oh, I think you were supposed to therapy me getting a zombie and naming PO. You would have missed in game 2, but I think you were supposed to. You go -2 power to make sure I don't PO you on the next turn. Or stock up, actually. Maybe stock up is even better. Well, I used stock up once, right, in that game. So I think PO's more likely. Probably. I would do one of those. I'm just going to get Ancestral here. This will be an interesting game, depending on how I want to play it out. Because I am in Lurrusable lane. Draw with top. White, blue. Is this Teferi? Or is it? It's gotta be Teferi. Alright. Am I gonna Ancestral? I'm gonna just force this. I'd love to see if we draw like a blue card or a land. Okay, blue card. I'm gonna start with an Ancestral. They have 4 cards left in their hand. I guess I could just PO for 3 in response. I kind of wish I had a land, and then I could just go Lurrus anyways and just not care. I don't know. They have like, they pitched their 1 PO. The percentage chance I draw a blue card is like, oh, I mean, I always draw a blue card unless I get countered. It's like kind of hard for them to, I guess if they have forced blue card, they're at 0 cards. That would be a bad ending to this. Oh, I just clicked it by accident. That's okay. Whoops. I did not mean to let that ancestral resolve. Or I mean, I don't even really need an ancestral at this point. Maybe it's correct just let the ancestral resolve. I have a trainer Flame of Anor force stuff, so yeah, I mean, I probably just don't care actually. Yeah, actually, I probably wouldn't counter. Well, yeah, I mean, there are certainly multiple ways to build the Dredge deck for different fields. I just think that the deck that you built was like very, it's very anti-combo, and maybe that's the case online right now, but maybe it's not. Like if I'd be pretty worried about getting wastelanded. I don't think wasteland has died down at all. I'm just gonna force this, pitching the flame, then just untap and stock up and win. So their hand is Sensei's top +1, I assume. Oh, where did the Sensei stop go? They might have fetched it away. I think they Merchant scrolled it away. Merchant, oh man, Merchant Snapcaster is Demonic Snapcaster is a nice backup plan here for my opponent. It's a very nice backup plan for my opponent. I'd love a misstep maybe. Fluster is quite good. Just go Fluster Flame. And then I'll just make a construct. All right, should be a good enough spot. The one thing about Shockwave's deck is there are a lot of very powerful haymakers. So forcing, it's like, it kind of feels like sometimes like playing against Jewel or like Raker. Or you can sometimes run out of counter magic. I'm gonna let the snap resolve and use my Flusterstorm so I can save the Flame of Anor. Then I can just kill the Snapcaster and draw 2 cards. And I can't have force backup for this anyways. Not that it's Flusterstorm and they don't have another blue card anyways, so. Shockwave is the creator of the deck. We're playing against like Esper, no Tinker, Singleton, I guess is what you would call it if you were trying to be descriptive of what the deck actually does. Pyroblast has got to be completely nuts against my opponent's deck. It's got like Jace the Mind Sculptor. I just wanted a challenge with it recently. I don't know if you want a chain in this matchup. But like, what else do I want? It's probably fine. I would expect the Lurrus PO deck to be pretty favored against this kind of deck. You should have better consistency and ability to grind because you have 4 stock ups and they have what, 1 stock up? Yo, what up, Ito? Appreciate that. I really like Saga against my opponent's deck, and Sam seems fine. If not, it's underwhelming, obviously, but it seems fine. I think Wasteland is pretty disgusting, and I'd be very happy not to have it in my format if possible, but it's tough to oh, great. It's tough to campaign for that when Bazaar and Workshop exist as 4-ofs. No Saga anymore though. It's not Singleton. It has 4 Force of Wills. It's like almost Singleton. It's just the way the player designed the deck to play. So I can beat this because I do have my chain, which is pretty funny. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to move forward. And I think the answer to that question is... I mean, I could merchant for Flame of Anor as well, but I don't know that I'll have the extra color mana here. So I'm probably just going to go for Ancestral, but I don't have a lot of time. I think I'm just still just supposed to go for Ancestral. This is definitely... I'd love another blue mana on this turn. The Saga is getting me down again. If I had a blue mana, I could cast Ancestral and still have the ability to chain. Force is not bad, though. But I can't risk... Cannot risk... I'm not going to buy Lurrus. I can't risk missing blue. So what I'm going to do here is take a hit. And I'm going to wait till they activate, get key and activate, so they don't get blue mana off of this. Hopefully they just like make a construct, get key, and activate. I guess they'd have to hit mana to do that. But then when they activate targeting the Time Vault, I will Chain of Vapor it. And then I will still have to like dress down these construct tokens. Oh, I guess they... Okay, they don't need to hit a mana. Okay, yeah, this is fine. Yeah. They're going to get Vault Key here, but we have an answer. I'm surprised we have an answer because I wasn't planning on keeping Chain of Vapor in, but you never know when a Chain of Vapor is going to come in handy. Force backup. Force backup. All right, so now they have a Time Vault in their hand. We do have a Force for a Time Vault. We're going to take a hit for 5 here, but we have an answer to the constructs. I do need to draw like another blue card to pitch to Force to counter the Time Vault again. I also am dying to my Mana Crypt because I lost both my Mana Crypt flips, of course. Fuck. Consigned to Memory. They brought in Consigned to Memory. So if I cast Just Down now, I run into the possible negation, and I also run into the possibility of not drawing a blue card. But it lets me make a construct. I think I just cast Dress Down now. If my opponent has blue card negation, I'm dead, so... I mean, I'm not technically dead. I can go to 1. All right. Oh, wait, there was no reason for me to... No, I could have Dressed Down on their turn. I should have just done that. Well, the reason I wanted to is in case I hit an island and I could cast Ancestral. But I could have just Dressed Down on their turn to play around that. Well, I mean, if I cast Ancestral, I'm just dead. I'm just gonna die too. Like, it's the same exact play if I start with Ancestral. What I want to do is like not play either of my cards on my turn. I can still win this game, by the way. Just need to draw PO. That is not a PO. Do I have a Soul Guide in my deck? I have a Vexing Bauble. Okay. The fact that I had any chance of winning this game was kind of remarkable because I don't really have great answers to turn 1 Time Vault Saga. Like, I technically have Flame of Anora, but like I said, it's hard to get to Flame of Anora. I could have gotten to Flame of Anora in that game if I had hit a land and I didn't have a Saga. Like, having a Saga sucked. Having a Saga was so bad. Saga not being a blue land is like such a huge problem all the time. But like I said, I could have gone on their turn. I mean, I wouldn't have drawn a blue card, so I would have had to pitch my Ancestral anyways. So I could have killed off these constructs, though, and I would have not lost the game. So I think I just threw this game. No, I don't think that's the answer. I think the answer is don't play into negation for what I like. I don't think that's the answer. I'm more happy with Ancestral is way riskier on playing than playing Dress Down. Like, I need, like, my Ancestral can just straight up miss. It could not hit any blue cards and hit no mana, right? Like, is that actually possible? Yeah, I mean, it theoretically is possible. But like, we don't need to risk the game. Like, as long as the Dress Down resolves, I think we're winning the game. So that's like kind of the problem was I really needed to Dress Down to resolve, so there was no reason for me to cast the Dress Down on my turn. It was just not a good play. I might have won that game if I had just cast on my opponent's turn. If my opponent like never hits any mana, we might win the game. Like, it's absolutely a winnable game from my side of the table. This is a nice hand. I'm just gonna get rid of this misstep and play 2 trainers. I think I just threw it. I'm not saying I would have won the game because we probably over the long term they hit a thing and I lose, but I mean, there's no pulling ahead if I don't Chain of Vapor, if I don't counter the Time Vault on the way down, you know? Oh, this was a really bad trainer, but it's okay. Kind of need this one to hit some action. I understand your point. I just don't think the percentages are remotely close to what you want to do. Like, there's like very little chance I'm winning off of it casting Ancestral. So like, if I'm not gonna like, if I want to cast Ancestral there, I would be trying to win the game, and there was like very little chance of me winning the game off the Ancestral. My opponent knows I have a PO, so they need to find a piece of counter magic for this PO or kill me. I guess that's possible too. But like I said, rough game because of I can't counter that Time Vault. Ugh. I can just pick up my trainers, I guess. I can't counter the Time Vault because it's just like a really bad use of my mana or my force. I don't get to do the same things I want to do. Like, that's not true. If I Ancestral and I find a blue source, but no blue card, then I cast Dress Down, and if I don't find a blue card, I lose. This was a really bad draw. My opponent has hard cast negation, so I'm pretty dead here. I mean, I PO and I hope it works, and I don't really have much recourse. But like, I don't think the upside is high. I think it's just a bad play in comparison to making the correct play. I'm gonna pick up some of these, I think. Am I picking up all of these? Some of these. 4? I see. I guess I shouldn't have picked up my... Oh, well, I wanted to leave these in so I could play Lurrus off them, but... I just need to hit a Flame of Anora, I guess. Time Walk PO. I'm just going to take Time Walk. Like, I don't think we should be talking about arguing if we should cast Ancestral or not when it's, like, clearly the wrong play. Like, sure, maybe Ancestral is better than playing Dress Down, but both of those plays are terrible compared to just casting Ancestral Dress Down on their turn. Well, I just, like, you have to win the game, though. I don't understand what you're trying to convey. Like, yeah, everyone wants to resolve an Ancestral, but it has to have a material advantage to doing so. Like, this is not typically always a great Ancestral deck. I just do not understand what you're trying to say. I want to. I don't think you should be trying to win the game from that spot because the likelihood is so infinitesimally small. You should be trying to make sure you can play the game. I just missed again. Ah. You're trying to lose, I guess. You're trying to find a way to lose in a game where we're not winning, where we're not losing. Academy, what is going on? Stock up better than Snapcaster. I just want to find Flame of Anor, and like, I'm just failing miserably at doing such a thing. Oh boy. I mean, I can't imagine I can... I don't usually think like playing through a Vexing Bubble is very hard after you resolve a PO for 4 and have 2 trainers, but... We are... Oh, we're just getting natural Volt Keyed? We're almost certainly getting natural Volt Keyed, right? Unreal. Alright, well, this was miserable. I feel like we had some really weird variants in this set, and we played against like tons of mental missteps and tons of Vexing Bobbles. I guess we lose. All right. Wonderful. I don't know. I mean, I feel like we must have done something wrong, but I don't know exactly what it was. I feel like losing, going 2-3 in this league is really bad. Just like doesn't make... I mean, we did play against 2 really bad matchups, like our 2 worst matchups probably. So maybe that's part of it, but... Like how often am I losing against the Singleton Esper control deck from this spot? Maybe a decent amount if they have counter magic, but like we just like keep getting Vexing Bobble. Is this wrong? Is this PO wrong? Like, am I supposed to PO for the full 6? Like, how much mana do we even like? I definitely thought the Emerald was like not good, so I picked that up. But I kind of wanted to have both black and white mana for maybe for a Lurrus. But if we had not, if I had picked up Jet instead, I would have had. It wouldn't have helped. We just like, if I drew another land, then I can keep the sink and I can sink the Vexing Bauble, and then we can go off again. I mean, we could. I mean, my first consideration was just sinking the train. I just feel like losing 2 mana to draw 2 cards is like worth it here. Like, my assumption is I'm gonna find mana, you know, like find lands to play. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, like, definitely. Like, we also just didn't have a lot of time, apparently, because my opponent had Natty Vault Key, right? Like, we just didn't have a lot of time. I guess I didn't have to cast stock up here, but then I'm just, like, facing down 2 constructs, and, like, I have to cast stock up there, right? What were my other choices? Did I have, like, any reasonable choices here? These Vexing Bubble games have been so infuriatingly awful for us. Can't seem to get it back. I just have 0 cards in hand that matter, so it's like, I mean, like, I could pick up both my trainers, but I feel like having a Pyroblast from this spot is like good against everything that's not Volt Key. Like, it's good against their 5 blue Planeswalkers. I guess it's not good against Karn, but I don't want to strip. Like, I'm already mad that my Saga cost me a game because it freaking didn't have a blue mana. I don't really. I mean, I've played strip in this deck, but like, there's not enough targets for strip to be good. I played strip when I played like DT and was like playing Esper, but it's like a lot worse in this this red version. Like, I played a strip in the Esper version in like the Oswald deck when we played the Oswald deck too. I don't know. Is this like, this doesn't feel right, but like, I mean, my opponent could easily have had just like had negation at any point in this game as well, right? Like, we don't even know if my opponent has like negation or not. Like, my opponent could easily just have negation here, and then I'm screwed no matter what I choose to do, even if I'm trying to unlock my spells. I just did not have enough lands. I had too much Moxes. Yeah, it's just like another Vexing Bauble game. And then there's this game where I'm not allowed to force this. I'm never allowed to force this Time Vault. I mean, they have just a Saga. I took Ancestral here. I mean, I didn't have to take Ancestral here. I could have taken Flame of Anor, but I didn't have the other blue mana. I also lost 2 mana crypt flips, which made our life total a huge issue. Did I play it on turn 1? I did, because I cast a Merchant Scroll. I mean, they clearly don't have any land. I could have sacrificed Saga to bounce a construct. Seems like a bad play. When I'm like super close to stabilizing in this game, right? Like, my opponent uses Force Blue card here. I'm super close to stabilizing. All I need to do is draw a blue land, untap, cast Dress Down on their turn, cast Force and Ancestral on their turn. I don't know. I feel like I'm winning this game like most spots, but I obviously misplayed here, right? Like, this was clearly a misplay. Like, playing any spell on my turn is just clearly wrong. I don't know. We had some games where we had way too many lands, and we had some games where we just did not have enough blue sources. Pretty weird. I did force back. Why no force back on the dress down? Because my opponent has a time vault that I need to counter. every force was used on the thing that it had to be used on. We didn't have a lot of choices. The only choice we had, we fucked up on. I really think the only choice we had, we fucked up on. Like just not playing a dress down on their turn is kind of inexcusable, which I did mention. It's just, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it was a weird set, right? Like we played a 3-game set versus Dredge, but the 3-game set versus Dredge only took 10 minutes because all the games were over on like the first turn. This game, I baited a force with stock up and then untapped with a lantern and a Lurrus lock, and that was an easy win. And then I kept this 7 that was risky, but I don't really like mulliganing like super powerful 7s. Like your Dredge opponent is not going to always have full interaction, and they just like kept 7 with full interaction. And then we kept, and I can still in this game, I can still draw blue mana and still win this game. Oh, I guess it makes, yeah, that's fine. And then in this game, I mulled my 7 was unkeep. 7 had no mana and 6 had no mana, or I mean 6 had mana, but like it doesn't do anything. And so my 5-card keep was like stock up and it got countered, or my mental miss. Yeah, okay. I mean, I certainly could make the Dredge matchup better with a Tormund script. I just don't know if it's like correct to do so. And then obviously the gifts matchup is pretty bad, but there's not a lot of ways to fix it. And the only way you can really fix the matchup is if you just completely ignore the non-blue decks of the format, like that deck is choosing to do. Like, don't play a Swords to Plowshares. Don't play a Chain of Vapor. Don't play... Oh, actually, they have a Chain of Vapor. Don't play Swords of Plowshares. Don't play, you know, all the utility stuff. Like, just completely ignore the other decks in the format, which I'm not really willing to do. Like, I'm not going to sleeve up 2 Mind Break Traps in the main, Pyroblast in the main, that kind of thing. So... And I think you have enough game post-board. Like, you're still playing a similar game plan, and like they're not getting like that much better post-board. You just need to play around mana drain, and you'll be fine usually. I think that's fine. I guess the thing that I want to think about is I just looked at the data for Dredge, and Eternal Weekend in in Japan will have a lot of Dredge. But I don't really know, like, what am I even allowed to take out of my board? Maybe I can just take out the second Consign for a Tormund script, and just because this Hurkyl's Recall is helping in the same spot Consign is helping. Just, like, swapping around, like, very small sideboard cards, and it's not really changing a lot. And I think, like, a 2-3 with a whole lot of variance is pretty normal, I would say. Like, this deck is not a huge like win percentage deck. It's like I'm 53%, 52% against the whole field, and I'm never like dead on board. Like, I never can't play a match, basically. It's the whole idea behind playing this deck is that you just don't have to have matches where you can't play the game. But I do wonder if like we're not doing a powerful enough thing. The problem was like every time we had a hand that was a powerful thing, we got Vexing Bobbled and we got Mental Misstep, right? Like every time we had an Ancestral hand, we got Mental Misstep, or maybe it wasn't like Ancestral, but like anytime we were banking on Ancestral or Pyro, we got Mental Misstep, and every time we were banking on Moxen mana, we got Vexing Bobbled. And like that's still going to be true whether I choose to play this deck or I choose to play some kind of extremely powerful deck. Like your Vexing Bobble is Vexing Bobble, and there's not a whole lot you're doing on the draw against Vexing Bobble. Like, you just kind of have to see if we can play it out. Am I consistently beating Mono Black? Yeah, it's probably your best possible matchup, which is a reason I really want to play this deck in Japan. The Mono Black deck is not remotely geared to beat this deck. The Mono Black deck, I think, is quite reasonable against Esper and Blue Black Frog. I also think people might like playtest the Mono Black deck and find out it's not a very good deck and not play it. So we'll see. But people might just like not playtest and just leave it up and jam. It's hard to say. Either way, I wouldn't say this was a particularly convincing outing. I did like some of the matches, and I felt like I had a lot of agency, but I also I don't know. And there wasn't that many matches where my deck gave me free wins, and I am inclined to try to put more free wins on the table. It's just really hard to play a deck that gets free wins and play a deck that can actually like give agency and play against the field. I just don't know, like, I just don't know what that would be. Like, this is like the most powerful deck that still gives you the ability to play a game against every deck, in my opinion. Like, I don't consider the Gifts deck to be proactive. The Gifts deck is like very drain and very drain dependent. And I think if you don't like just get like a run into a drain. Esper Lurrus Vault Key. It's tough because I just think like Time Vault Key like pretty bad into this field. Like the fact that Time Vault Key doesn't actually win the game versus mono white a lot of the time because of Conqueror Peacekeeper. Like it's going to up your percentage versus Dredge for sure. But like all of these other decks are gonna like these decks are the Lurrus decks are gonna be playing Null Rod. Yeah, maybe I should practice some Lurrus Doomsday. Like what if I tried Lurrus Doomsday? Maybe we do that for this weekend's challenge stream. I really hated Lurrus Doomsday the first time I tried it, but yeah, I don't think like the current like Gifts Breach build is what I'm looking for in terms of like it's not proactive in the way that I want a deck to be proactive. It actually leans like a little further towards reactive, and I don't like that. Like I certainly would be more interested to play Lurrus Breach Gift stuff than I would to play Frog. Like I actually don't like the Frog deck in terms of like how I want to play Magic. Like the Lurrus Breach deck with Gifts is certainly closer to what I want to be doing in Magic. I wish I could make like a more consistent Oath deck that I still thought was good, but I really have been unimpressed with Oath. So I kind of like I can build a whole Oath deck. Like I have my whole paper Oath deck. I could do that. I guess I could build the Lurrus Doomsday deck as well. Realistically, there's nothing new in it, right? I bought frogs for. Did I buy frogs? Maybe I didn't buy frogs. Dan has frogs, I think. I think he has frogs. Someone has frogs. Fluster, Ponder. I just like don't know that this deck is like. Well, I definitely don't have any Unable to Screams, so I would have to find 4 Unable to Screams. It's less about card. I don't know. Like, does this deck spark joy? That's my problem. Like, this deck does not spark joy. I don't know about this deck. Feel like it's just PO, but like I don't know. PO didn't do badly at Eternal Weekend in the US. It just like didn't do well, right? I don't know. Like it's been a while since I felt like PO was the best deck in the field. Is the problem? Like going 50% at Eternal Weekend is not a good sign when I usually have like a 70% win rate at Eternal Weekend. I guess Lurrus PO went 53% win rate. So maybe I'm just stressing over nothing. I feel like Lurrus PO gives you the most ability to play through the nonsense too. Like I feel like this is like a really good anti-nonsense deck, right? Like if people are showing up with weird things, I just feel like it's a very good anti-nonsense deck. All right. Either way, I'm rambling like crazy here. Thank you for watching this league. There will definitely be more content as I prepare for Eternal Weekend in Europe and in Japan. I need to figure out what I want to do because the field is open and balanced, but it doesn't mean that all of the decks are what I want to play. So keep a lookout for more content Monday, Wednesday, Friday on this YouTube channel. I'll see you then.